My wife cheated and left me. When I told her she couldn't have my stuff, she laughed and said she didn't want any of it. But on moving day, when they realized what that meant once I had written the divorce papers, Parker thought quickly, "Get out of my house." My wife sneered provocatively. Beside her, her lover was dreamily looking around the house. "Wow. All this high-end furniture. How lovely. It's a house that fits me perfectly," she said. I felt the sting of those words and reminded my wife, "Just so you know, I'm taking all my personal things with me on moving day." "Okay then," my wife replied, looking at me as if she was about to burst out laughing. Of course. Of course. If your stuff was left behind, it would just remind me of the miserable days we've had so far." Apparently, she still didn't understand the true meaning of my words. I thought, just watch. Make sure you don't regret it later. My name is Kevin. I'm a 26-year-old interior coordinator. My wife, Joanna, is 31 and works in the construction industry. We met through our shared hobby of DIY projects and had been married for a quick 3 years. At first, we cared deeply for each other, but now I feel grateful we didn't have children. The reason is that Joanna has become too self-indulgent. After coming home, she carelessly takes off her coat, eats the meal I've prepared while complaining, doesn't even clean up, and retreats to her room. Before marriage, we made various agreements, one of them being shared household chores. Joanna and I decided to split them equally, but now I'm taking on almost all of the housework. When I pointed out that she should do her share, she came up with an incredible excuse: housework is easy, so it's natural for men to do it. Women have to take responsibility for work, so I don't want to do all this. This rigid opinion was something she had never voiced before marriage. The fact that I earned more than Joanna also played a part in her turning against me. By the time I reached Joanna's age, I was planning to be independent and should be able to increase my income even more. Perhaps resenting that, Joanna contributed only the bare minimum of her earnings to the house without saving, spending her money however she liked. She was so reckless with money that I warned her repeatedly, but she stubbornly refused to change. My hard-earned money, how greedy could she be to still want more? Not content with just that, she exaggerated to her coworkers, painting me as an outrageous miser to win their sympathy. It was Joanna's apparent generosity with money and the perception of domestic unrest that attracted her affair partner, Liam. He's a 24-year-old temporary employee at Joanna's company. There are few young women at her workplace, and even though slightly older, she's still considered young, which likely made 31-year-old Joanna catch his eye. "Gosh, Joanna. If I had a beautiful wife like you, I'd take care of her forever," he'd said, making her quickly infatuated. I discovered Joanna's infidelity about 6 months ago, just when the affair had begun. One day, an unknown man called Joanna's mobile phone. When I searched for his name on social media, I found Liam. He posted things like, "Today's date with my future wife at a fancy restaurant. I'm so nervous since it's my first time," along with photos of himself unmistakably with Joanna. I saved all of them and also retrieved their exchanges from Joanna's phone. From the dates, conversations, and details about the places they visited, there was no doubt that she was cheating. When I found out about her infidelity, I felt neither anger nor sadness, only emptiness. I understood that getting lectured when coming home tired wasn't pleasant, but all those discussions were necessary for our future. Maybe it was harsh, but to have an affair just because you're fed up with family life after only 3 years? I sighed heavily. Certainly, I couldn't afford to be down and do nothing. I had been working hard, believing compromise was necessary between us, but I couldn't tolerate the cheating anymore. I decided to divorce her and started looking for a lawyer. A month later, on a Saturday, I brought Joanna and Liam together for a discussion. Naturally, they were shocked when I contacted Liam. They probably never expected me to find out. Yet Liam, thrilled about the marriage, didn't apologize or attempt to justify the affair. Instead, he cheerfully asked, "Kevin, are you really okay with this unprecedented compensation?" I calmly replied, "That's right. Joanna and I decided before marriage not to divide our assets." At that moment, Liam held hands with Joanna and celebrated. Yes, Joanna and I had agreed that in the event of a divorce, there would be no division of assets, and the compensation I would receive would be minimal. Since I was working, I didn't mind that part. But what made me furious was their complete lack of remorse for the adultery. How wonderful to live in such a stylish house filled with high-end brands. The appliances are the latest too. "It's just the perfect house for me," Liam said, causing a strange sensation to creep over me. As I handed over the divorce papers, I reconfirmed something with Joanna. Even during our marriage, there's no division of the things I bought. I'm taking all my personal belongings with me. You understand that, right? Seemingly not understanding, Joanna paused and then spoke. "It's obvious your plain clothes and bags wouldn't suit young Liam anyway. I have to buy him better things. If I leave your belongings here, they'll just be a reminder of the painful days we had together." It seemed she thought I was talking about clothing and other personal items, and it was easier to let her believe it than to start an argument. "Tomorrow, the movers will take everything, so be prepared," I said. but they were already ignoring me, too busy admiring the house's interior. The next morning, they came to see me off as if they were hurrying me to leave. Ignoring them, I waited for the moving company's arrival. Then, right on time, a large truck arrived. The workers energetically called out to me, "Thank you for choosing us today. We have another truck waiting nearby, so please don't worry." Liam, with a clouded expression, hesitated as he approached me. "Do you have that many personal belongings?" I held back a laugh and barely managed to answer, "The house itself belongs to Joanna, but all the appliances and furniture are mine." That's why I said there would be no division of property. Hearing that, Joanna rushed over to me, her face turning bright red. "All the furniture and appliances are mine.